Hi, Real Wild here. Thought I'd go into a little in depth on my hunting arrow I chose this year and the reason I chose it. I will be shooting the X10 Parallel Pro, a new arrow from Easton this year. I don't know about anybody out there, but if I have a chance to shoot an arrow that has done what the X10 has done over the years, I would go with it. I can't tell you how many world records I've set with an X10. I cannot tell you how many tournaments I've won with an X10. It has been something that has been a part of my career forever. And when Easton finally did a parallel X10, I was super excited. I have tried to get them to build a parallel X10 for I cannot tell you how many years. It's always been something that I've always felt would be a great advantage for anybody shooting. A parallel arrow gives you a little more advantage in the way it tunes. It's a little easier for the average person. The X10, let's be honest, has won every Olympic medal since its introduction. So that the name of this arrow alone brings a lot of validity to it. One of the things I always do with my arrows when I start, I always will cut a little bit off the back and a little bit off the front, or a little bit off the back and the rest off the front, because I always try to make sure if there's any end that gets bumped in shipping or anything that can mess up that end, I can fix it by that little cutoff. That's just something I have done on all my arrows forever. And it's been pretty successful, I can say. I have chose this year to use the new Fletch 2.5s. The reason is I'm going to do the new hybrid Sever this year. I haven't got my hands on them yet. Supposedly they should be at my house in the next day or two. But I wanted something to help control that extra little blade out front that's going to be there this year. To me, it actually looks really funny on this little diameter shaft to have those big of fletchings, but I've had really good luck with them this year. They've held up well. They've done good by me for shooting ASAs, so I'm really excited to get that with a broadhead. I've also, this year, Easton come out with some match grade outserts. These things are awesome. I can tell you that in the archery shop working here, guys are even using them on other companies' arrows because of the quality that they are and what they are. I can't say enough good about them. Easton really knocked it out of the park on that part, and they have done really well. I just stuck with the 55 grain outsert. Easton does offer some other ones in that they offer a 75 grain, they offer a heavier one so that a guy can get a little more FOC. I only run a 100 grain point. I'm not one of them guys that really believe I have to have a ton of FOC. I mean, if this arrow weighs a total of 381 grains, so if 155's up front, that's a big majority of it anyway. So I do have a good FOC, but I don't feel like I need to add so much stuff out there that I need to slow my arrows down. I'm shooting about 69 pounds out of my hunting bow, and it's going about 291 feet a second. So I feel that's a pretty good happy medium with almost a 400 grain arrow to be right there close to that 300 threshold. It will do a number on any animal I let this arrow loose on, from an elk to a deer to a bear to anything we go chase. So for practice right now, I'm running match grade points. They are super good. The weights are silly, how consistent they are between each one. The finish is awesome on them. They just go together to complete this arrow. Really excited for it. And the last thing that I'm doing a little different this year, Idaho in the last year or two has allowed lighted nocks. Company that I shoot for and have for a lot of years, Fletch, has come out with some lighted nocks. They're called by Lit, and they are pretty awesome. I cannot say enough about them. They seem to clip on a string a little better than a lot of the different ones. They are a neat, unique nock. And plus, the pricing on them is really good. Retail at $19.99 for 3. You can't beat that. That is one of the most affordable ones out there. But all in all, Fletch's products have always been amazing, so that's one of the reasons I'm trusting them. We're going to give them a really solid run this year and see how they are. But this has been the arrow of choice. I'm going to hunt elk with it. I'm going to hunt deer with it. I hear guys say that they change their setup from elk to deer. I'm one of them guys that believes once I get a setup that shoots really well, flies well, I'm not going to mess with it. I have learned a lot of years that guys talk about penetration because of weight or light. One of the things that I have really learned is arrow flight. If your arrow's flying really good and doing that, it'll penetrate 10 times better than an arrow that is making all this wiggle. I mean, anybody knows corkscrewing isn't as easy as when it's going straight through like a blade of a knife. So that to me is a big part of why I'm choosing this arrow and the setup I've chose to really push for big game this year. And I'm really excited to get out there and chase them.